beyond the lines, the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara. We bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
This evening to do justice to some of this topical issue that we shall be dissecting this evening in the world of sport is Dr. Elechi Oweke. Doctor is a lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt. He's also a staunch Chelsea fan, and he's in the building with us this evening. Doctor, good evening and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening, Michael, and we're here to do justice to the issues on sports this evening.
All right, here to do justice to the issues of some topical issues emanating from the world of sport. Also joining us in the building this evening is Otto Lugard. He's also a staunch, when I mean staunch, a staunch Arsenal fan. And he promises to be a Mazalin show this evening because he knows we are going to dissect everything that you need to hear this evening on the show. So Otto Lugard joins us. Otto Lugard, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Michael. It's always a pleasure to be here, and we are going to do the
National Sports Festivals. The proposed National Sports Festival in 2024 will now hold between May 16th to 30th, 2025. The postponement came less than a month before the commencement of the festival. The festival was earlier scheduled to hold in November 2024 in Ogun State after the state won the hosting bid during the closing of the 21st National Sports Festival on September 10th, 2022. But in May, the former Minister of Sport Development, Senator John Owaneno, announced a postponement of the by the Joint Technical Committee. All right, Doctor, let me quickly turn to you. The Gateway Game, talking about the sport festival, this is not the first time that it has been postponed. Of course, you know that during the era of Senator John Owaneno as the Minister of Sport, we also saw a postponement of this game. This time around, it has also been postponed. What do you make of the incessant postponement of these games?
I think a lot of factors must have come into play because I think the National Sports Commission, initially it was the Sports Ministry, they need to have had their plans beforehand, and Ogun State was announced as the host during the last edition of the National Sports Festival. So announcing Ogun State as the host, I think they should have had plans and procedures, set out things on what they need to be on ground for this festival to hold at the appropriate time. And if they did that, I think Ogun State would have prepared and also monitor them and know how they are going about trying to get these things set in place. Because in everything, planning, when you fail to plan, you're already planning to fail. I think that is what is happening. And it is not just something happening for the first time. It has happened in the National Sports Festival, where a event meant for so year is now shifted to the next year, and it keeps occurring. So I think we need to look at the critical issues and see how we analyze the critical issues and come out of it. Another issue that occurred was the scrapping of the sports ministry and not taking the whole issue to the National Sports Commission. So that translation from the sports ministry to the National Sports Commission would have caused a lot of issues, which I think must have drawn back the hosting and the ability of the National Sports Commission to monitor what the Ogun State government have in place. And secondly, if there is going to be postponement, normally what is done as a standard practice is that 1 or 2, 3 states would have been kept in place as on standby. So if the state that have been given opportunity to host couldn't meet up the requirement, the states that are on standby will go on with the hosting. When you keep postponing, automatically you're also reducing the standard of sports in the nation. So I think it is not a good one for sports development in Nigeria, because the talent that would have gotten within last year, this year, we will now have to wait till next year. What happens if the event is now shifted and we now get to up till August? How do we now host the one for next year? So I think it's a very big problem. The National Sports Commission need to come up to the attacks and do things the right way.
Of course, the National Sport Commission, they need to come up with their task in order to do the right thing, because I think this is a major setback. This is not the first time that this game has been postponed. This is the second time, and of course, it is not good for the development of sports in the country. But away from that, let's talk some athletics on the show this evening as the 2025 ECOWAS Abuja International Marathon we hold on the March 1st in Abuja as part of activities marking the ECOWAS Community of West African State 50th anniversary celebration. The event, which features 21 kilometer and 5 kilometer categories with a prize purse of over $71,000, is expected to attract runners and fitness enthusiasts from across Africa and beyond. Race Director Gabriel Okon revealed that the competition is open to all categories of runners, according to a statement signed by the Director of Communication and Media of the ECOWAS Marathon, Olu Kayode Thomas. The 5 kilometer race will begin at Ego Square and end at the ECOWAS Commission in Asokoro in Abuja, while the 21 kilometer half marathon will start and finish at the Commission. Okon added that the prize money for the 5 kilometer race. Right, Otto William, beyond the celebration of 50th anniversary of ECOWAS, do you think that we should consistently organize this kind of, talking about ECOWAS, do you think that they should maintain this momentum, not just because of the fact that they are celebrating the 50th anniversary, or do you think it is just normal whenever they are celebrating any anniversary they put up this kind of thing, or do you think we should sustain this?
I think ECOWAS has done well, but for me, I think this should be a yearly event. It's not just about the anniversary, because one is a way of getting talents from it. You know, ECOWAS comprises of Nigeria, Ghana, if not for the crisis in Burkina Faso, Mali, talented West African youths. And not just saying 5 kilometers. Maybe after the 5 kilometers being the 50th anniversary, they will just let it go. It's not going to be a continuous process. And this will hamper the development of sports in West Africa. They should up their game. ECOWAS should up their game. In as much as they have done well in organizing this competition, you should try as much as possible to up their game, to reach out to the youth in every corner of West Africa, so that it will help them to stay away from some crimes, and also reduce the high level of childbirth within the youth. Because childbirth is even affecting the economy of the nation, and which including the West Africa. If you watch now, a child of 15, 16 is already out there looking for a way to have a lover. And if that child is engaged in sporting activities, that child will be on the field trained once you up their game.
All right, ECOWAS should up their game out there, according to Otto Luga. But let's head away from that and talk some boxing news this evening on the show, as Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk shared a quite astonishing 11 minutes and 20-second face-off in one of the most remarkable, perhaps the longest head-to-head in boxing history. Britain Fury 36 will challenge for Usyk unified heavyweight title in Saudi Arabia on Saturday. The obligatory face-off, however, provided the most talked about moment of fight week and demonstrated the mind battle between arguably the two best heavyweights on the planet. Fury towered over Usyk and both refused to look away inside a luxury mall in the center of Saudi capital. Fury, now 36, has gone 35 bouts unbeaten before facing Usyk, despite a roller coaster career when he has struggled with depression, substance abuse, and ballooning weight. Usyk, a former Olympic gold medalist and undisputed cruiserweight champion, whose record stood at 22-0, is optimistic of getting a victory in the bout. The Ukrainian southpaw give up 6 inches in height and big weight advantage to Fury. His work, speed, and prestigious fitness have allowed him to prosper since stepping up to the heavyweight division. British media have reported an increased prize purse of £150 million, that is about $190,000. Usyk is expected to receive the lion's share, unlike in May, when Fury was said to have ranked up to 70% of the prize money. Doctor, this is another big bout that is said to go down this weekend, come Saturday. Alexander Usyk and the Gypsy King, talking about Tyson Fury. If you actually listened to the pre-match conference last night, Usyk is talking tough. He said, I'm going to knock this man out. And of course, he's always very loquacious. But away from the media stunt of, Tyson Fury, do you think that he has what it takes this time around to bounce back after that devastating defeat that he suffered in the hand of Alexander Usyk in the first round, in the first match, rather?
I think he has what it takes to bounce back. But the truth is this fight, first of all, I would like to advise the audience within the arena where the event is going to hold to go get their tickets. I also advise those who watch on TV and on the internet to as well be glued to the TV, because this is going to be one of the greatest fights in recent times. Because if you check the records of Usyk and that of Fury, you understand that they have almost the same record. This man had 35 fights without a loss, while Usyk has 22 without a loss. The only fight that Tyson Fury lost was against Usyk. Now, one thing, first fight since he turned heavyweight till date, he has been so decent. So it's not going to be a mere teacup fight. This is going to be a fight between two elephants that the grass will have to suffer. So it now has to do, because as I see, Usyk will always want to maintain that his 100% record. While for Tyson Fury, he is a big man. But you should also understand that a lot of factors is against him. Yeah. Last time they tried to add weight, which could not help him. Now this time around, he's trying to train hard. That means he has to.
Otoluga, let me bring you in.
Usyk already is going off his peak. Soon he will retire from boxing, and he wants to retire with 100% record. If you watch what Usyk has done, and not when the ovation is low. So for me, the 100% record he has kept, he is going to continue with it, and he's going to defeat Tyson Fury. I bet on it.
Wow, this is going to be a massive clash this weekend. But Doctor, let me still, keep you on this very conversation. Now, if you take a look at the record of both fighters, they have a very strong record between themselves. But
now the fight between Tyson and the other young man, Mike Tyson and the other, there's always the claim in the media that the fight was fixed. It's a claim, but we don't know, it has not been substantiated. I don't really know. So if you check the media hype, if you check the level at which Tyson Fury had been training, and it's not just about the hype alone, but I think Fury is actually out to get something. Why he also trains very hard. So like I said, it is not going to be, I'm not going for Usyk, neither I'm not going for Fury. The last time, while I was able to say Usyk will win because to run around and receive the punches, he doesn't know by doing that, receiving the punches is also counting against him. That was where he lost the fight. So this time around, I think Fury is trying, and the promoters are not just looking, it's not just about the media hype, they're also looking at the work he has done so far to see that he may come through, but it's going to be a 50-50 thing.
Yes, of course, it's going to be a 50-50 thing, according to Doctor in the building. But away from that, let's head straight to the world of football. This evening, the Nigerian Premier Football League, NPFL, has rescheduled the match day 17 clash between Aqua United and Heartland FC. The clash earlier slated for Sunday, December 20th. Rivers United, Bayelsa United. Abia Warriors will also welcome the informed Ikorodu City, whereas Nasarawa United will be in a battle against Rivers United. It's a battle of the United. Let's see who reigns supreme in this very one. What Aqua United as well. We continue with some of the topical football issues that we have here on our menu. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, discussions
All right, welcome back from that short break. Let's head straight to the fans segment this evening. Like I told you, Dr. Elechi Oweke is a core Chelsea fan, and today is a special edition of the show where we have two fans. Winger talking about Bukayo Saka has expressed confidence that his team is ready to compete for both the English Premier League title and the UEFA Champions League trophy this season. Saka also admitted that it was horrible to narrowly miss out of the Premier League title for 2 seasons in a row. Speaking to BBC ahead of Arsenal's Premier League tie with Crystal Palace on Saturday, the England international said Mikel Arteta's side want to take that next step and try to win or something this season. All right, I hold it from there. Otto Lugard, you are a core Arsenal fan, and your player talking about Bukayo Saka is talking tough. He said this is the season for Arsenal, and I think he thinks that Arsenal is going to fight for the UEFA Champions League and also the English Premier League. Can this be feasible? Taking a look at the form of Arsenal.
That is a statement of fact. His team has what it takes to compete favorably. And as Bukayo Saka understood what 2 consecutive seasons, and it was just a whisker away from it. But this time around, they understood what is on ground. And as I told you earlier on in the radio show, Arsenal is going to compete in all front of every competition they are in. The Carabao Cup, the UEFA Champions League, the FA Cup, including the Premier League. We have a target of at least coming out 3 best out of these 4 competitions. And Premier League is one of them. Bukayo Saka has just made a statement of fact, and we are going to win the league. Though the injury affected us, but we are going to pick form. Don't rule out the possibility of Chelsea and Liverpool dropping point. Don't rule it out. An injury have not really occurred to these people. And I'm telling you that Nicola Jackson, who